Hey, Dr. Marquez. So, for my diversity in the military assignment, I found a book on Google Scholar and it was called Inclusion in the American Military. And I just kind of briefly skimmed it. And the sections that were included, the main headings were race and ethnicity, diversity in the American military, sexuality, gender, and religious minorities in the military, and then intersections, linking statuses. So it was a pretty long book. So what I did was I just highlighted three interesting points I found, and I'm going to share them with you right now. So the first interesting point I found was in the introduction that kind of briefly overviewed the importance of diversity in the military. And what it did was it explained how, due to the nature of the military, how it's very international, it's really important to have different perspectives and different experiences, especially in leadership. It also said that one thing about the military that's very unique is, despite your socioeconomic status, your race, your religion, when you start in the military, everyone goes in and is on an equal standing and is the same level. So that was an interesting point that I thought I'd highlight. Two other ones, these both have to deal with race, and they're kind of historical and things that I thought were interesting. The first one being the underrepresentation of African Americans in the American military that then translated to an over representation. And so what had happened was, in the World War II era, there was the right to fight mindset. So what that was you had to sign up for enlisting and to be drafted, and you had to get tested, and usually African Americans would score low on mental health or mental and health scores. So they usually would not qualify for the drafts. And that is what led to an underrepresentation at first. Then they introduced the AVF system. And you know what? This is what I got from the book. I don't know if I'm 100% correct. This is what I got from it. They introduced the AVF system, which relied on volunteers. And it was interesting because most of the recruiting done was in disadvantaged areas with lower education, which resulted in a disproportionate amount of African Americans being put in combat. Then the third point that I thought was interesting was about the Hispanic population. And this one I really loved because it said Hispanics have always been super highly involved in the American military ever since the Revolutionary War. It also talked about how the Hispanic population was hardly ever given valor or formal recognition for all the effort that they put out. And this was really highlighted after World War II, when Mexican American veterans were denied benefits earned through the GI Bill of 1944. And one thing I thought was interesting was, to counter this exclusion, there was a man named Dr. Hector Garcia. He was the founder of the American GI Forum, and this lobbied for civil rights for Hispanic veterans, which included burial rights, voting and educational rights, and for Hispanics to be represented on draft boards. So that was some interesting information I found, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.